Yeah. Hang on a minute, that can't be right. Are we record?
Well, this is November.
This is right though, isn't it?
Talking about November.
Yeah, is this November?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't believe what a mess we've made of this.
Or is it October?
What?
That's October. Right.
Yeah, of course, yeah. We might have to cut that because that was too fucking stupid.
Cut that.
Ladies and gentlemen from around the world, my name's Christopher. That's going to be hurting everybody's ears before we even got started, before we even released a laugh. That's going to start hurting everybody's ears. Welcome to episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, of the newly named PixelWhack Podcast. Have I told you we've renamed it yet?
No.
This is Ben, by the way. You may remember him from episode 3.
Hello, good day.
He's back because, well, basically everybody who's contacted me asking me if they can be on, you will be on at some stage. It's just that planning around everything that's going on with me and everybody else is a bit difficult at times. So Ben's just the fallback. I don't really want him on. He's just around all the time.
Yeah, funny how it's been twice already.
Don't get smart just yet, boy. I'll kick you off this fucking podcast. But yeah, welcome everybody to episode 5. Quite soon for this one, actually. It's been 2 weeks, I think, since we released the last one, which is a fucking record for us, really. I don't think we've released one weekly or bi-weekly in about, since the first one. But yeah, thank you for returning, if indeed you are returning. Thank you for the 3 listeners. So we're just going to get right into it and talk about what we've been playing. Ben, you can go first. What have you been playing?
Oh, it's been a bit limited, really, mate. I've been away for, obviously, 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, you've been over to the States, haven't you? Stateside.
Road trip in the USA, so that's always good.
The land of
obviously the
racism
gaming
and
has
guns.
been true, and the country of the free and the brave, of course.
Of course.
But as a result, obviously the gaming has had to be sacrificed. But
Not even a little bit of Candy Crush on your phone?
No.
Oh,
not
disgrace.
mobile game at all. Fucking
That's fair enough, I suppose.
indeed. Well, obviously Metal Gear that was left behind.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I've been catching up a little bit on that. It's getting a bit long-winded now, though. Not going to
How
lie.
far are you into it?
About
percentage?
30%.
Oh, so you're just doing story missions now? Or?
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, if I can be arsed. I can only handle it for about an hour at a time these days. So.
See, that's
But still a quality game. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because I would play it towards the end. I would still be playing it for 3 hours at a time until I thought, this is enough now. I've done everything I want to do now, and it's just worn a bit thin.
I know what you mean. I can only handle a mission or 2 at a time.
It's because there's nothing endearing about the story. It's rubbish.
I know. It does need a bit more effort put in, doesn't it?
Yeah. And from the best, well, what most would deem to be the best creative mind, one of the best creative minds this world has ever seen.
And wonders what he'll do next, eh?
Yeah. Wonder what EA is going to get him to do. Lol, little in joke there for people who don't really want him to go to EA. I kind of really do want him to go to EA, just so it will piss everybody off.
Yeah. I guess there's always going to be good games coming out. Either way.
Yeah. Even EA put out some of the best games. Anyway, we've talked about Metal Gear enough on the show and on the channel in general, so you've played the fucking Battlefront beta, haven't you, Ben?
Battlefront beta, yeah, I have indeed.
But no, the reason I didn't play it is because, number one, I'm not a very big Star Wars fan. That's got nothing to do with it. The quality of the game looks really good anyway. I don't think it matters what theme is on top of it.
It doesn't help. If you don't like Star Wars, you probably won't like Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I do. It's not that I dislike it, it's just that I'm not fussed by it at all. And it's another first-person shooter. Unless it's Titanfall 2, I'm not really that interested. So Ben, what did you think of it? What did you take away from it?
Well, that was the main point, really. It's just another first-person shooter. It's basically just your Star Wars Battlefield, if you like.
Yeah.
Under a slightly different name.
Yeah, of course.
That's exactly what you get with it. If you like Battlefield and you like Star Wars, I'm sure you'll absolutely love it. But
Marriage made in heaven.
I mean, the CODs and the Battlefields don't really hold my attention these days so much anymore. So
I think it's the same for a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been done. You've been there, you've poured your hours into it, and it gets quite boring, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of gameplay of it, and it looks fucking amazing. It does look very good. DICE always do a good job with visuals and audio design, and just general game design, really. But I think the thing that, because I prefer Battlefield to COD. I mean, I don't play a lot of Battlefield, but I used to heavily session Battlefield 3 on the PC. And the thing I liked about Battlefield 3 was that it wasn't just a straight environment. Like, you know, it was a big maps and you could hide in different places. It wasn't such a big open space. Whereas in Battlefront, I noticed it might be different with other maps that there's a lot of open space.
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing, especially on the bigger map.
Yeah, yeah.
But obviously, that was two modes I think have been released in the beta.
Yeah.
So many different maps and whatnot. So maybe it's not a true judgment until the game comes out.
Yeah.
Worth a little play. Didn't really hold my interest.
Yeah. A lot of controversy this week. I suppose we have to bring this up about the season pass being, I think it's $50 and £40, which is, it's no more or less, definitely no less than the usual AAA season pass these days. Don't get me wrong, it's fucking ridiculous that we have to pay basically for the game again to get the additional content. But if you're really that bothered by it, either don't buy it or wait a year for it to come down in price, which it inevitably will.
Yeah, of course it will. But I mean, obviously there'll be less people playing the types of games that have to be waited for a year.
Yeah, I think Battlefront's... And people are saying this year, oh, COD, I mean, it's not going to trump COD. Nothing's going to trump COD. But I think it genuinely... I mean, they've just had 9 million people playing the beta, which is fucking incredible, really.
I mean, I'm bored of both, really, but COD, more bored of that. So if I was to give anything a go, it will be the new Battlefront. Yeah.
It's going to be the one release I think I'll give a miss, because, I mean, we have got a busy couple of months coming up, and I need to conserve some money.
It's true.
So I'm going to save £50 there. I know, check me out. I've got a lot of other things to do, like watch YouTube content and masturbate in my own filth.
And record these podcasts.
Well, let's not go too far then. But yeah, I mean, it does intrigue me. I'll definitely, I'll play it with somebody, or I'll borrow somebody's copy, probably yours.
Yeah.
We'll do a trade for the Uncharted collection or something. When you got bored of Battlefront.
I need to play Halo.
Oh, come on. Have you been playing anything else, Ben?
Not particularly.
Not particularly.
You've
only been back for a couple of days, haven't you?
Like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And, juggling work as well. It's obviously not a huge amount of time.
Well, I've been playing. I've played. Well, most of my week this week has been spent either watching Good Mythical Morning videos on YouTube, which is something I do every week anyway, but for this week I've just been catching up on everything I've pretty much missed over the last 3 years, and listening to Star Talk podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson. No, he's the head of Cosmos, the program Cosmos. Yeah. Have you seen the new one?
No.
Oh. He's like a really famous, I think he's a cosmetologist or something, or an astrophysicist or something like that. Fascinating. Go fucking download Star Talk, people. But in terms of video games, I've been playing over the last 2 weeks, most notably the Dishonored Definitive Edition. Now, I have owned this game about 3 times now. I owned it on PS3 first, and then I got it on PC shortly after that, and now again on PS4. And just to get it out of the way, I do think the PC version is better. I think most versions of first-person games are better on PC, because I think the control scheme's just better.
If you're used to it.
If you're used to it, yeah. But I've completed the game... Well, I didn't complete it this time, but I've completed the game twice before, and going back to it now is sort of... I don't know. It's really hard to balance out a stealth and like a brutal chaos system. You know, like the choice systems in games. Like you can either go brutal or you can go stealth. It's really hard to balance that out. And Dishonored does a really poor job of that. For anybody who isn't... Do you know what Dishonored is?
Yeah.
Yeah, give some gameplay.
I've seen it. I just haven't played it.
I think I'm not going to bother explaining it, because I think everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
The 3 people who listen to this probably should know what it is. Pause the podcast now and look at some fucking gameplay, you twats. But no, it's like the systems in place there are really well... Well, the stealth system is the poorest of the 2, I think, because the action is so fucking overwhelmingly fantastic when compared to the stealth. The stealth's good and it's competent and it's fun if you want to do a playthrough pure stealth, but you can't mix the 2 because it changes the narrative of the game. If you kill too many people, it affects the environment, so you have to always go chaotic.
I guess that makes it more playable, though.
It makes it the replay value there, but
that's what I mean.
After the completing it twice already, and I want to mix my styles up now, I can't do that, and it's really frustrating. And I hope it's something they completely... I appreciate the fact that it weaves itself into the narrative, but I just want to I want to jump off a ledge and slam my knife into the throat of a guy 10 feet below and not feel like there's going to be any consequence to my actions outside of, the combat situation that's about to commence. I don't want it to be woven into the story, but it's still a fantastic game, and I've been telling Ben before the podcast started just to get it, because if you haven't played it before, it's fucking amazing. One of the best games of the last generation.
And what's the actual storyline like?
It's rubbish. It's the aesthetic. It's a shame, because the art direction and the aesthetic is amazing. Like it's steampunk and really Victorian England-y. It's a bit kind of orderish, but obviously not as good looking. Yeah. I don't think the port's very good at all. If people are wondering, the port for the PS4, as far as I can tell, it runs at 30, and it looks okay. It looks like it's got a slight resolution bump or some slight texture work, but it still looks a bit last gen-y.
But I think it is also been released quite cheap.
Oh yeah, I think you probably get it for £25 in places now, and that's with all the DLC. And it's some really good DLC there that you're getting. I think The Knife of Dunwall and something to do with witches. I can't remember the other one. But yeah, it's still a fantastic game. What was I saying before? Yeah, the story is... Like, the voice acting's really shit, and the story isn't very interesting.
Okay, I guess. Again, can't have it all the time.
No. Again, that's something I hope they improve in the second one, because it's just a shame to waste all that art direction on a really poor narrative. Still stands up, as I say. Still think it's a fantastic game. But there we are. I've also, and you're not going to have any interest in this, Ben, because you're not going to know what I'm talking about.
That's fine.
The Banner Saga.
No,
doesn't know what the Banner Saga is. I think it's just because it's a PC and iPad and iPhone release at the moment. It came out originally on PC, was kickstarted back in 2012, I think, and it was released, I don't know, 2014, I think, early part of 2014, and it's fucking amazing, Ben. And I'm going to bore you to death now by talking about it. For anybody who isn't familiar, it's a turn-based. It's a turn-based, turn-coded. Oh, jokes about fish. No, it's a turn-based sort of fantasy RPG, sort of RPG, I suppose. Definitely turn-based, set in sort of this Nordic Icelandic place, heavy Viking theme. And the story's really good. The combat's really good. What can I say about it? I hate doing this. I should take notes.
Compare it to another game.
See, this is the thing, because I don't really play turn-based RPGs. Yeah. I sort of got on with XCOM a little bit. Obviously, games like Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS. I haven't really played any JRPGs like the Final Fantasies and stuff, so I can't really compare it with many turn-based strategy games. But it's more like a what do they call it? Piss! It's really obvious, like a paper, like a paper RPG. What do they call them?
A paper RPG.
Like where there's a book.
Board game.
No. There's like a book, and you can choose your own adventures. I guess is what it is.
That's the best way to put it.
No.
You were looking for.
Yeah. Fuck off. But Stoic Studios or Stoic Games, the developers, I believe are ex-BioWare developers, and it shines through in this game because it's heavily sort of narrative choice sort of based sort of thing. I can't talk at this time of the day. I can't talk at most times of the day. I just drank a load of Coke as well, so I'm a bit antsy.
I guess that's some more videos you've got to watch now.
Don't say it like that. You fucking cunt. I've already got a load of stick for being a pretentious knobhead, which I am, obviously. But no, it's really, really fucking good, Ben. It's really good. It's got branching narratives. So it's sort of thing where you choose something and it could have an effect on the entire story, sort of like Until Dawn, I suppose. If you wanted a comparison that you're going to understand. But it genuinely does matter, and I'm on my second playthrough now, having just finished it this morning, and then instantly, this hasn't happened in a fucking long time. I'm trying to remember the last game I actually did that with, probably Mass Effect 2, where I finished it, and within an hour I went back and started it all over again. And already the decisions, I'm deliberately choosing things differently, and it's having vastly different outcomes on certain situations.
It's always good.
It's always good, yeah.
It's always one to look out for.
And it's all about basically, it's a turn-based RPG, but also you have to manage a caravan of people because you are the leader of these Nordic people, and you're sort of going across the landscape. You have to manage resources, upgrade your characters, buy items, stuff like that. The story is really good. It's just a fantastic fucking game. And the art style, for a start, the music is done by Austin Wintory, who made Journey, which is obviously anything to do with that game, anybody to do with that game is someone I'm always going to be a fan of. The music is fantastic. And the art style, I mean, I'm going to show you the title screen for it now, Ben, because I've made it in my background. I mean, look at it. Look how beautiful it is, Ben.
Looks cutesy.
Oi. It's quite violent. It is quite. The themes are very adultish, but it's sort of a 2D cartoon, not necessarily cartoon-esque, but it's 2D Really, really lovely, visceral, colourful art style. Fantastic to look at. Amazing game. Really, really good. I wish it was released this year because it would have gone straight to the top. Or tied with Metal Gear, I think, so far. For the best games of the year. What else have I been playing?
Bold statement.
Bold statement, indeed.
You finished Until Dawn yet?
I haven't. I'm glad you fucking remembered me that. I'm glad you've remembered me that, Ben. Jesus Christ. Because I'm about halfway through. Well, I haven't played any more since we had that conversation on Tuesday, whenever it was. But yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It is.
I think me and you are both in agreement that it's a really, really good game. It's something I'm definitely going to finish because I'm intrigued by the narrative, and it's just a fantastic game to play.
Absolutely.
It's just so refreshing to see a Telltale style game done in such a way that it actually feels like every decision you make, maybe not necessarily affects the whole story, but it feels that way. It feels like everything you do sort of does have some minor or major effect on the story.
I definitely think it does that better the first time round. Once you start playing it that second time, it really just
loses its novelty.
Yeah, and it kind of gives it away that it is quite limited, actually.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah, I think it's always hard to sort of, because you have to. I imagine you have to, as a developer, you have to invest a lot of time.
Yeah, of course.
Into making every single outcome different, and I think there's a limit on how much time you're willing and money you're willing to spend on developing those systems. But I think it does it better than, I think the Banner Saga does it slightly better, but they're two different games, so they can't really be compared, even though I just compared them. But I think it does it certainly a lot better than Telltale games do, because Telltale games doesn't do a very good job of masking what decisions are major. And Until Dawn really fucking nails it, I think.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And I'm trying at the moment to keep everybody alive, even though I do hate a couple of them.
Good luck.
Yeah, I've heard it's difficult to keep them all alive and keep a couple spare. But yeah, fucking love it. Anybody's got a PS4, you can probably pick it up second hand now for about, what, 30 quid, something like that?
Maybe even less.
Maybe even less, yeah. Or just buy it new. They deserve your fucking money, frankly. And if you want to keep seeing these games, people, there's only one way you're going to keep seeing them. That's if you buy them.
PS4 exclusive as well. So
Indeed, another one. See, this is something that I want to talk about this because although Xbox has certainly has a lot more exclusives to come out this year even, whereas the PlayStation, aside from sort of independent PlayStation Network games, doesn't really have any big releases. But I don't think that matters because I think this year alone, the most notable titles have been, and I'm not a fucking PlayStation fanboy. I do prefer the PlayStation, but I'm by no means a fanboy. But I think the more notable releases of this year, Bloodborne, Until Dawn.
Absolutely.
What else have we had PlayStation exclusive this year?
Order.
No, that doesn't get a spot. In fact, people, I have written on my blog a piece of why I hate the Order so much. So I posted that yesterday or the day before or something. So if you want to see my reasons why I think it's shit, go check that out. What were we talking about? What are the
PS4 exclusives?
Yeah, this year. This is where we're stumped. This is where our point of view slowly gets cut off. Well, actually, no, the Xbox really does have some fucking solid games coming out.
If you like driving.
Driving and shooting things. But no, I think in general, I think Sony are taking a little bit more of a risk. I mean, I'm trying to think of Xbox One exclusives that have really held my attention, aside from the Forza games. And I can't think of any. I like Elite. Elite is... I might have to dull that. Elite Dangerous is now out properly, I believe, on the Xbox One. And that's one of the few games that's actually held my interest on there, outside of Horizon 2. Even Gears.
Yeah.
I went back to Gears, and for me, it really hasn't held up. That's something we can talk about.
Come and gone, anyway.
I still think it's like, obviously, people are going to be on my back and saying, "Oh, you can't say that. Fucking Gears changed the way we think about third-person shooters. In fact, it reinvented the third-person shooter."
Yeah, but it's already done that, and now they're
now people have already improved on it.
Yeah.
And contextually, I suppose it's fantastic, and it's still enjoyable to a degree, but it's so fucking bland.
Yeah.
Like I got about 3 hours in and I was like, I cannot be bothered with this now.
It is definitely more of a nostalgia game.
Yeah, definitely. And I played it a lot when I was younger. But I have no interest in playing that now. And I have no interest in Gears 4 unless they do something dramatically to change. It's more the fact that it's a constant shooting game. And people say the guns feel really chunky and stuff. I don't think that at all. I think the shooting feels worse than it does in Uncharted. which is a good, what do they call it? Segue.
Segue?
Yeah.
One of the little things you stand on.
No, is it a segue? Segue into this topic?
Oh, I think a segue is one of the things.
I think it is, yeah. Either way, I'm using that word. A segue into Uncharted, which I've also been playing, the Nathan Drake collection. Which unfortunately I don't have with me at the moment, but I have been playing, and it's all right. I don't think, controversial statement now, I don't think it's held up as well as people think it has. No. I still think they're fantastic games, specifically the second one. I think it's, again, I'm trying to take my nostalgia hat off here because I played it, when games didn't, well, they obviously did have really good stories, but Uncharted has always been known as this thing that blends sort of Hollywood blockbuster really well with video games, and massive, huge set pieces and really cool action sequences. And the second one is still fucking brilliant. But the shooting is fucking shite in it. A lot like Gears in that sense, except Gears doesn't have the half-decent story to back it up. It's an entertaining story, but it's not that good. And to be fair, Uncharted doesn't exactly have the best one either. It's just big, not necessarily big, but what's the word?
Large. No,
you can make him fat. You can put a fat suit on in the game if you collect enough achievement coins, or whatever they're called. Yeah, he's essentially an entitled white man who goes into other people's countries and robs the treasure.
You said that before, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Except Indiana Jones is usually a mastermind who's going to do something terrible with it.
Yeah.
Whereas apart from an Uncharted 2, there kind of isn't really. Although I can't remember the first game specifically because I think it's an awful game. Well, it's not even awful. That's not fair. I think it's awful. Yeah. But objectively, I don't think it's awful.
But at the end of the day, you're getting all three of the games in the one normal game price, if you like. And a lot of the others aren't doing that kind of thing. No, of course not. No, and even though it's I reckon you could probably get it for about 40 quid. I think, in fact, I know you can. I think you can get it off Amazon for 40, which is a good price considering that it's such a fantastic port. Yeah. Like it runs really well, runs at a constant 60 from what I can see. Some minor texture, well, a lot of texture work in the first one. Not so much in the second and the third. Third one looked gorgeous anyway. It still holds up to this day. The major difference for me is the 60 frames per second, which I do believe every game should run at 60. Yeah.
I don't give a fucking shit what it is.
But nowadays, especially.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Otherwise, what the fuck have you bought the new consoles for? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Apart from slightly better looking and more big games. Then again, saying that, never mind. But no, it's for anybody who hasn't played the Uncharted games, it's definitely something you should look into.
Yeah.
For people People who've already played them, be prepared, because if you haven't played them since the first time you played them, when they were released, you might have a bit of a shock because they're a bit shitter than you imagine. Still fantastic.
Another nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Just once you play the game, don't play it again.
Never. Ever.
If you've not played them before, then
yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
Like The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And not played it on the PS3 and playing that on the PS4 for the first time was incredible.
I think we're in that stage now where 3D graphics, if we're talking specifically about graphics, are going to hold up. Whereas if you go back and, like I was playing the original BioShock on my Mac the other day, and I was looking at it and I was thinking it's one of my favourite games of all time, but this hasn't aged well because it was not early-ish 3D graphics, but early in terms of the last gen. But now I think we're at the stage where you can go back in 10 years' time to something like Until Dawn or I think another example of a new game. Metal Gear. Metal Gear specifically definitely will be something you can come back to and always say, that looks fucking amazing. Because we are approaching the stage now where everything looks increasingly lifelike.
Plateauing.
Is that what the word is?
Well,
check this guy out. See, this is why I have him on the show.
I don't know what kind of word it's used for, but...
Oh, did I even introduce you this time?
Yeah.
Ben Jordan. Yeah. This is Ben Jordan, ladies and gentlemen, just in case I didn't. He's a co-host, not a guest. Because I'm going to start calling people guests now. It makes me sound fucking entitled.
Co-host? I've been upgraded.
It's not just going to specifically apply to you, Ben. Everybody who comes on here is going to be good at co-host now. Don't be getting ideas of your station, you cunt.
Chief co-host.
What we're going to do is we're going to talk about releases for the whole month as opposed to this week, because I don't know when we're going to record the next podcast. Yeah. Hopefully next week. Hopefully, but as I said in the last podcast, we can't promise anything because I'm sick of promising stuff that's just not going to arrive in time. So what are we on today? The 13th today. The Talos Principle releases 4. And I assume this is just a straight port from the PC. On the PS4, A game I was intrigued to play, back in the days where I didn't have a PC and still don't to play these things on. And the Talos Principle was, as far as I'm aware, far too demanding for a Mac to run. So this is an opportunity for me to play it. So people can check that out right now on the PlayStation Store.
Is that on the PlayStation as well?
It is on the PlayStation.
Oh, it's just the PlayStation.
Just the PlayStation,
okay.
Yeah. Good old PlayStation and buying out people's buying the rights. Well, not necessarily the rights, but on the 16th, we have again what I assume is the PC port of was it released on the PlayStation 3? I don't know, but we have a re-release, shall we say, of Back to the Future, the Telltale game. Which was the last game they made before people started to realise that they weren't shite developers. No, that's not fair. They released a lot of half-decent stuff before The Walking Dead. Never played it, but I heard it was all right.
Yeah.
So if people miss that and want to check that out, you can play that right now. There's something else. See, some of these games, we're just not going to know what they are. So I apologise for that, people, but deal with it. We've got something called... Disgaea 5. Disgaea, maybe. Disgaea 5, Alliance of Vengeance, Launch Day Edition.
And that's Disgaea.
Disgaea. Oh, yeah, Disgaea. Maybe it's just the S is silent. Disgaea.
Disgaea.
I'm sure people know what that is, but that's out on the 16th. These are all on the 16th, these releases. That's Back to the Future as well. Also, Tales of Zestiria, which I thought had already released, but apparently it hasn't. PlayStation 4... and the PlayStation 3, again, exclusive. See, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Nothing here for Xbox, really. But PlayStation is just making sure they get hold of the titles that are generally intriguing. There is some good stuff on the XBLA. Is it still called the Xbox Live Arcade?
I presume so.
You don't even have an Xbox One, do you? You wouldn't know. Can't.
But you do, and you still don't.
Yeah, I haven't turned the fucking thing on in about 2 weeks, mate. What's this? I assume this is World Rally something. World Rally...
Cars?
World Rally Cars. It doesn't say. It's just WSC Special Edition. This is a terrible podcast, isn't it? We don't do any...
It's WRC.
Was it WRC? Oh, it is an R. World Rally Championship then, you just yeah. Fucking hell. It's... Hopefully this just denotes some element of charm. People will just think, oh, that's kind of cute. As opposed to these fucking cunts are so unprofessional. Which is exactly what I would think.
Well, we are unprofessional, we're not getting paid for it.
Well, yeah, good point. But you can still inject some element of quality into your content.
I'm afraid you're amateur at best.
You fucking jippo.
Not just hobbyist.
I suppose you're right there, yeah. On to the 23rd of October, we have Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which I'm actually intrigued.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm going to pick it up. Well, obviously after the reviews come out. Because you can never be sure with anything Ubisoft releases these days.
After Unity's fiasco.
Yeah.
You liked it a bit more than me, but I thought it was dog shite.
Yeah. Was that because of the bugs or just because of the quality of the game?
All of it.
All of it. See, I didn't. This was after the massive patch that I played it, though. I didn't notice any bugs, obviously, because it had been patched. But I thought the story was rubbish.
Yeah.
But I thought it was nice just to go back to, after, because I really liked Black Flag, but it felt nice to get back to just killing people in the street. Intriguing. This is Syndicate. It's intriguing, it intrigues me, but they have to make sure that this fucking releases and it's not a broken mess.
Absolutely.
Because of the nature of the game, they're going to jump straight on Ubisoft's back. And they can't afford to have this thing flop again. They probably can, because even if they release this one as a broken mess, they release another one next year, people will still buy it. Because gamers are inherently quite stupid.
Take three shitty games, so you might just stop on it.
But I've heard from people who've played the preview build that it's still a little bit broken in places. Not as bad as Unity was when they played that at preview. But it's still not spot on.
Yeah.
But I don't... Obviously that does matter, but if they can get a day one patch out and fix it, maybe that's alright.
Yeah.
As long as the quality of the game is better. It looks a lot more... Because they've put that skyhook thing in there, haven't they? Have you seen any of the gameplay from it?
Not really.
No.
I'm going to step well clear of it until we see if it's a Unity.
Yeah. Basically there's like a grappling hook type thing in there now, where you can grapple between buildings and slide along.
So a bit like Dying Light.
Yeah. Every other game that's utilised it better than probably Syndicate will. But in the one gameplay video I was watching, the grappling hook just disappeared and she was flying in the air.
So then no.
But obviously, the most notable new feature in this one is the fact that you can play as 2 characters, one of which is a woman, which you would assume is from the backlash of last time in Unity, where there was no playable female character, which was a bit stupid. I understand that these things, it's a design choice, but I mean, come on, French Revolution, what are notable?
Yeah.
Whatever. That's old news. Syndicate, I'm looking forward to it. Won't be a day one purchase. Well, it might be, depending on if the embargo lifts early enough. Probably not going to be a day one purchase. Moving on, 23rd again. Guitar Hero Live. Ben, did you ever play Guitar Hero or Rock Band?
Before that.
Yeah. Right. Rock Band 4 released, let me see when that was, 6th of this month, to slightly underwhelming reviews. People saying that it was okay if you'd never played a Rock Band before, because it's basically the same, but with like a new set of songs and a slightly better looking interface.
I suppose if you're a die-hard fan, that's what you're looking for.
Exactly. But Guitar Hero, I believe, because all you get is the guitar, you can use the older guitar from previous games. I think that's how it works. So you've got that advantage, and the fact that Guitar Hero Live, it's an entirely new gameplay feature where the crowd actually reacts to what you're doing, and it's a real life crowd. And they react to what you do. Obviously not live, it's programmed into, they react to you in certain ways. But it's certainly a more interesting concept than what Rock Band did, which is basically nothing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy it because those sorts of games have never really interested me.
There doesn't need to be 2 in a month, does it?
No, there doesn't, and it amazes me that they haven't staggered them a bit more. But I think Guitar Hero was always the more popular, perhaps. I think was it the first one to come out?
Which one?
Guitar Hero.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. Again, uninformed, just drivel, but we could be entirely wrong there.
No, I think it was.
Yeah, that's Guitar Hero Live. If you're interested, then pick it up. 23rd of October. November? What are we on now?
October,
yeah.
So it's out on the 23rd of October.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Also 23rd of October. October. Just Dance 2016. Got nothing to say about it, Ben. I'm sure it's fantastic for people who like those games.
If you like to dance.
If you like to dance. Games,
yeah. If you like to dance and don't like going out of your own home.
I should love it then. Well, mind you, I don't know how to dance. I should half love it then.
You like to just.
The puns are real. They're real. The quips. But yeah, sorry people if you're interested in that and we have no information. But we don't.
Look at yourself.
One of the reasons we stopped doing news is because I don't want to come across as someone who's ill-informed. So we're not going to talk about that one. Says ill-informed after not knowing what I'm thinking. WSC. Anyway, again, 23rd of October. Zelda Triforce Heroes. Now, it's 3DS release. I fucking loved. Oh Jesus, I forgot the name of the game.
Zelda.
Link Between Worlds, of course. Not the biggest Zelda fan, not on purpose, not because I dislike the older games, just because I never grew up with them. Weirdly enough, I'm actually in the middle of playing Ocarina of Time at the moment. So expect my opinion on that at some stage soonish. This year, maybe. But yeah, I love Link Between Worlds. One of the best games I've ever played, in terms of a handheld game, at least. Triforce Heroes just looks kind of the same, but with no real proper narrative structure to intrigue me. It's more of a multiplayer thing, as far as I'm able to tell. 27th of this month. It's just because I think we've talked about some of these last week on the previous podcast. And I'm like, have we talked about these before?
Restart
the whole fucking thing. 27th of October, definitely this time, it's October. Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. We talked about this last week. Ben, you were chatting about it, asking me if it was any good. It is okay if people are intrigued, and just check out gameplay on YouTube.
Watch some more videos.
Thereby making this entire podcast completely redundant. Just check out some gameplay on YouTube. You fucking idiots. Why are you coming to us, some uninformed knobjackies? But yeah, it's alright if you like Zelda and God of War, basically. If you're a fan of both those things, I'm sure you get some level of enjoyment out of Darksiders Definitive Edition. Because you play as Death in the game.
Interesting twist.
Now, this is interesting. The Elite controller for the Xbox One. I'm fucking going to get one of these if Microsoft give me a reason to buy any more Xbox One games. Almost totally customizable. It has 4 paddles on the back, so you can totally remappable controls. So you can remap the face A, B, X, Y buttons to the paddles at the back. Because a lot of the problems is that cool. You've got to take your finger off the right thumbstick to jump or whatever in a first-person shooter. Do a lot of this. These sorts of controllers have existed for a long time. They're just actually this one is just as expensive as some of the other ones. But it's cool that they're doing this. I would like a new controller for the PS4 that offers more battery life and just that really. It just offers more battery life. Because I'm sick of playing for a game for 2 hours and then having to plug it in.
Yeah, that's why you need 2 controllers.
I'm not spending 50 quid on another controller just because of...
That's alright, they're 40 quid now.
That's alright then.
You can even get red or blue.
Oh, and a camo one as well, I believe. But yeah, this also doesn't have a rechargeable battery. It still runs off 2 AA batteries. You're paying I think it's 120, maybe. It doesn't have a price here, but I think it's 120. And you don't get a rechargeable battery with it. I'm sure there's separate battery packs for them. But I mean, come on. The fuck is this? It's 2015, almost 2016. Rechargeable batteries should be in everything. Yeah. I want them in my remote controls, Ben. I don't really. But yeah, I'm going to pick that up. It looks really cool. I mean, that's about all it needs for me. A piece of hardware just needs to look really cool for me to be intrigued by it.
And there's some practical functions as well.
Yeah, you can swap out the analog sticks. That was convenient, wasn't it? I didn't even mean to do that. Swap out the analog sticks for taller ones if you want absolute precision control. Swap out the D-pad, which I think the D-pad is a lot better on the... Let's have a look at this. Have you touched an Xbox One controller before, Ben?
No, I've touched it.
The D-pad is a lot better on the Xbox One controller than it was on the 360 controller, which is arguably the worst D-pad of any gamepad ever. I think it was awful. It's stupid. And I prefer the Xbox 360 pad to the DualShock 3. But now I think the DualShock 4 is one of the best controllers I've ever had my hands on. It's just great, isn't it?
Yeah. Probably prefer the 360 one, to be honest.
Ooh, Ben, calm down.
It takes a close second there.
Yeah, at the very least.
Most honourable mention there has to go to Halo 5.
Does it, though?
Yeah.
Because me and you are always going to disagree on this. You're a massive Halo fan, and it's not that I dislike Halo, I just don't see the appeal.
As someone that appreciates the PS4 these days, not the Xbox One, always playing Xbox before, Halo's always been a consistent purchase for me.
Yeah.
From day one, every time.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I think the play base is always going to be there for Halo, regardless of what people think of it, because it's got such a from day one, it's always been there because it was such a game changer.
It is.
People have that rose-tinted glasses effect, don't they? Yeah. And I liked what I played it for, but Halo 5 just looks like another Halo game. And to me, I bought the definitive edition, the Master Chief Collection, and I've played each one, and I could see very minor gameplay changes, and it doesn't. I want not necessarily big changes in between each in a series, but I think in a genre, that being first person shooters, that is already dry in terms of inspirational new gameplay tweaks. I think Halo doesn't do enough.
Well, for me, I've always thought of it as more of a moistener rather than
a moistener in it. How I like that, Ben. How do you mean? How so?
A moistener. Instead of it being dry, I've always felt like it actually does what it does very, very well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Kind of bring a little bit of freshness, a little bit of moistness into each successful game.
Yeah. It's the lubricator,
if you will, of first-person shooters.
I don't have the biggest interest in it, and I won't be picking it up. I mean, I don't think there's any games about to be released. Well, when's Quantum Breakout? I think it's next year at some stage. That's the only that and Scalebound, and probably a few more that I can't remember right now. But none this year, certainly. That intrigued me enough to buy them. So yeah, Halo 5 looks all right, but you think it looks really good.
Yeah. As we've said, I will be borrowing your Xbox for
Minecraft Story Mode, which has actually already been released, but I think this is just the physical copy for... It can't be, though, because it hasn't all released. Whatever, Minecraft Story Mode's out. I'm sure it's good, because Telltale do a reasonable job of everything. And finally, on the 30th of October, not November, we have... WWE 2K16. Again, something I'm not really interested in because the game hasn't changed in about 7 years.
It wasn't very good back then.
Whoa, there's been some great fucking wrestling games.
Yeah, if you like wrestling with men.
Even then. I mean, I love wrestling. I am an active subscriber of the WWE Network, I have to say. I don't watch new stuff, I just watch all of the Attitude Era stuff. I'm about halfway through at the moment. As soon as that's over, I won't be interested anymore. But this one actually, as an Attitude fan, it actually has Stone Cold. I think it's a playable campaign mode where you play as Stone Cold in the Attitude Era, which is kind of cool if you're into that thing. I don't know what the Attitude Era is at all. Do you know what the Attitude Era is?
It's an era.
It's an era.
Attitude.
It's basically like the 90s, early-ish 2000s wrestling genre with Stone Cold, Mankind,
Undertaker,
Kane, Kane, Triple H. Mind you, a lot of those are still in it now, but Mankind definitely isn't, and Stone Cold definitely isn't, because I think he had a back injury or something, and he can't actually wrestle anymore.
Don't forget The Rock. The
Rock, of course, mind you, he was in it a couple of years ago.
Acting career now.
Indeed. I actually really like what's his name?
Dwayne
Johnson. Yeah, I think he seems really nice, and I don't like any of the movies he's in, but
seems like a nice guy.
That pretty much wraps up the releases and the show, actually.
Yeah.
Again, we could talk about news, but I don't actually think anything significant has happened. There probably has. As someone who constantly checks Appy Gamer to see if there's any new news, there's probably been thousands of articles, but as someone who used to partake in a smoke of the old greenness, my memory is shattered. So if it's that prevalent, I promise I'll make a note of it in the week. If it's a founded article that's based on something that's actually happening and it's not just a load of nonsense that someone's speculating is going to happen or has happened, I promise I'll note it down and we'll talk about it next time on the podcast. But for now, thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry that it's been a bit scattered, and I'm also sorry that we haven't had much content on the YouTube channel. It's been fucking busy for the last couple of weeks, and I've just come home from work and thought I can't be bothered today. I want to sit down and play video games, because this is the problem when you make content. Even if you make content as shoddy as I do. Because you have to play the game, and what I do is I play the game and then I script something to read, and then I have to spend about 2 hours trying to record the thing, because I don't speak properly as it is, as people have probably been able to tell. I speak too fast, either don't get my words out properly, can't think of phrases properly.
High-pitched laughter.
Annoying people in general with my nasally voice. So I script everything and try and make it sound half decent when I record it, which takes about 2 hours. Then you have to throw the clips together, which is actually the fastest part. But you just don't get any time to play video games if you're doing that every night or every other night. And yeah, so I apologise for that. I have got a lot of videos in the process of being made, literally about halfway through being made. And the one that, if anybody saw on my Facebook page, or on the Facebook page of the channel, of me dressed like a woman, that video is coming. I'm working on it. All right. It's hard because I have to get my brother to hold the camera or speak to me during the videos, and he's at work at nights most of the time, so that's difficult to get done. And I'm not going to fucking ask my mother and father to do it because it'd just be weird. So yeah, content is coming. I'm sure Dan's probably working on something at some stage. Owen probably will do when he gets back, but he's currently touring the world with the Gruffalo, so there's not much he can do from Dubai or New York, I think he's in at the moment, which is fantastic. But yeah, I'm going to shut up now, and thank everybody for listening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, see you all next time, you filthy bitches. Stay tuned on the PixelWhack. Have I said Game Slags anywhere in this?
Don't think so.
I was going to say, because we're not called Game Slags anymore. We're not called Game Slags anymore, people. Just to let you know, search PixelWhack. Get it done, yeah? You know best. Bye. Say bye, Ben.
Bye.